One man built 8-figure wealth without chasing the stock market. The other earns a high income yet never reaches true financial freedom. This is the real difference between a BA and an IA. A case study of a BA versus an IA. To illustrate my points, consider the following two cases. Both of these respondents are excellent examples of their respective orientations. One I will call Mr. Ward, the BA. The other is a high-income producing stockbroker, Mr. Rogers. Mr. Ward is a business owner with a net worth in the mid-8-figure range. He owns and manages a very successful recycling business. He lives in a home valued at well over $1 million. He purchased it more than 20 years ago for a bit over $200,000, and there is no outstanding mortgage. How does Mr. Ward account for his economic success? Factors that he rates as being very important include investing in my own business, willing to take financial risk given the right return, and finding a profitable niche. Mr. Ward rates as not important investing in the equities of public corporations and having excellent investment advisors. Mr. Ward thinks that investing in Mr. Ward doesn't take advice from stockbrokers, not even Mr. Rogers, who purchased a $2 million home near him 3 years ago. Unlike Mr. Ward, he has an outstanding mortgage balance in excess of $1 million. And there are other differences. Mr. Ward has a net worth that is 5 times the expected level given his age and income characteristics, while Mr. Rogers has a net worth that is only 34% of what is expected, given his age and income parameters. Yet Mr. Rogers has convinced himself that he is wealthy. In his mind, one factor stands out from all the rest as being very important: having the ability to sell my ideas, products, and the like. At the same time, Mr. Rogers discounts the importance of what he sells in accounting for his economic success. He claims to sell advice as well as stocks. But guess what factors he did not rate as important in explaining his economic success? 1. Investing in the equities of public corporations. 2. Having excellent financial advisors. Could it be that Mr. Rogers believes wealth is a function of selling more than investing? That appears to be the case. Whom would you like to provide you with investment advice and products? You'd be better off searching for an investment advisor who is a solid member of the BA crowd. They tend to practice what they preach. I don't deal with financial advisors, physicians, attorneys, or any other professional who is income statement oriented, and I've had to fire a few of them over the years. Their objective is to maximize their income, often to pay for a high consumption, highly leveraged lifestyle. They normally have substantial debts, and I personally believe that many cannot provide superior service when bankruptcy is a potential threat. Precious treasure remains in a wise man's dwelling, but a foolish man devours it. D.L. Discipline or UCK. Webster's defines discipline as training that corrects, molds, or perfects the mental faculties or moral character. In turn, one who possesses discipline is marked by perfection of mental faculties and moral character. The moral character relates to integrity, for part of being disciplined means perfecting behaviors in productive and moral ways. Most millionaires are well disciplined. They set their own high goals, and then go on to reach these standards. More often than not, they don't have others telling them what must be done. In fact, one of the hallmarks of discipline is one's ability to become economically successful without being given a roadmap. Millionaires make their own roadmaps, and no one tells them what time to wake up or go to work. Once at work, they determine their own priorities, work schedule, and tasks. The discipline to manage their own lives well makes them different from so many others who could never survive if they didn't have someone telling them when, how, what, why, and where to do things. Millionaires, by definition, are accumulators of wealth. Not so for most people in America. They spend all or most of their income. As a result, nearly 3 in 10 American households have a negative net worth. Most millionaires started at economic ground zero, and fully 60% never received a single dollar of inheritance. Only about 1 in 10 inherited more than 10% of their wealth. Most millionaires did it the traditional way, on their own. Their success was usually due to discipline and had little to do with luck or happenstance. Note the results given in Table 2 to 9. Only 12% of the millionaires surveyed indicated that being lucky was a very important factor in explaining their economic success. Contrast this with the percentage of millionaires who attribute their success to being well-disciplined. 57% rated it very important, and working harder than most people. 47% cited this factor as very important. Countless millionaires have told me they are lucky to live and work in America, and it's lucky that there is enough rain for millionaire farmers to grow millions of dollars worth of crops. Yes, luck does play some role, but most economic success derives from proactive behavior. One of my closest friends once told me that I was lucky to have a book on the New York Times bestseller list. It's all genetics, he said. I told him that he needed to analyze the relationship between making the 1.5 million symbols, letters of the alphabet, required to write the book with my Papermate medium point blue pen and being lucky. Or as countless self-made millionaires have told me, the harder I work, the luckier I become. A detailed discussion of the role of luck in becoming wealthy is given in Chapter 4, the relationship between courage and wealth. A disciplined person sets his or her sights on a lofty target, then figures out productive ways to reach the target. Disciplined people are not easily sidetracked. They could live in a warehouse filled with top-brand alcoholic beverages and not indulge themselves. They could live in a French bakery and not gain weight. Or they could encounter hundreds of economic opportunities and then select the one or two that are best suited to their strengths and the market's needs. Table 2 to 9. Millionaires' success factors. Happenstance versus the elements of discipline. N equals 733. It's particularly interesting to note how most of the millionaire physicians feel about luck. Only 4% felt it was very important in accounting for their economic success, yet 73% indicated that discipline was very important. Most of these people had a desire to become physicians before they even entered high school. They had the goal and never lost sight of it. Besides, what does luck have to do with graduating from medical school? What does luck have to do with successfully running a medical practice? Very little, according to these physicians. It is hard to overemphasize the importance of discipline in accounting for variations in economic success. But let me say that if you lack discipline, the chances of your ever accumulating wealth are very, very small. Yes, you can win the lotto, but in most cases, you have a better chance of contracting leprosy. At a dinner party in Sugarbush, Vermont, my friend John introduced me to the head radiologist at a major hospital. Later he told me something interesting about the radiologist. He was once a high school dropout. When I wondered how a high school dropout had become a radiologist, John said, he got disciplined by his experience in the army. He was just 17 when he spent a night in a bomb crater at the Battle of the Bulge. All night long this fellow thought the very next shell fired would kill him, and all night long he cursed himself for dropping out of high school. He figured that if he'd been better disciplined, he wouldn't be in this near-death situation. That night he made a promise to himself. If I get out of here alive, I'll become a doctor someday. The difference in this fellow before and after the night he spent with death all around him was the same except for one factor. He now was committed to becoming disciplined. And he became one of the most disciplined individuals who ever completed medical studies. A person with self-discipline possesses an internal compass, a control, and navigational system. Self-discipline means that you make course changes or corrections only when they will be productive in reaching your goals. Kenneth Tuckman, founder of Teletech, defined his own form of discipline in a recent interview. I'm a finisher in a society of starters. I have this vision that is constantly evolving in my head. Adrienne Sanders, Success Secrets of the Successful. Forbes, November 2nd, 1998. p. 24. Even if you are lucky, there are no guarantees. At the age of 30 you hit the lotto for $5 million, but will you still be a millionaire by the time you're 65? It takes more than luck just to keep even. I have asked many people who have been fortunate enough to inherit millions of dollars. Those who have enhanced these fortunes will tell you, it ain't luck. At the very least, they hired highly qualified trust or asset managers to help them, but they also did a lot of work in allocating their investable dollars. What is discipline? To one multimillionaire from Nevada, it's all about understanding that leasing a Mercedes doesn't make you rich. The target is to keep thinking net worth. Discipline also means standing by your spouse through thick and thin. It means counting your blessings each day for having that great spouse and related gifts. It's paying homage to your spouse every day, just like a decamillionaire construction contractor from Georgia does by saying, "My wife is tolerant, rational, self-reliant, even-tempered. I am thankful." It is also finding a source for becoming disciplined when you know you are lacking. I once asked a multimillionaire from Nashville about the sources of his productivity and his strong work ethic. He wrote the word military 7 times. To become wealthy, one must be disciplined in thought and deed. Disciplined enough to search for great economic opportunities.